giving them hope, doing counseling. Almost every day I shared, spoke to one new person and tell them about who Jesus is and how he would give hope, and prayed for people. And then in 2 years, during the COVID in 2020, I started a fellowship, online fellowship, where
Hmm.
every week, Sunday, the new believers, new people who found Christ, who wanted to have hope from different religious background, Hindus and Catholics were part of that group. I did every Sunday where they joined. It was for 1 hour. It was like a church. I spoke to them, and started to train them and help them. So till 2 3 years, I was actively helping them. And after one point, when they wanted to commit and know more about God, they were from different states of India. I connected them to the local churches in that particular state and cities,
Hmm.
and they were then regularly going there. But at the same time, connecting different friends to me. I was constantly sharing. Even today, now when I get it in an auto or a taxi, Uber or an Ola, when I go out, I ensure that I talk to that person, pick up a conversation, and tell him about Jesus. And
Excellent.
yeah,
Now you said your whole family became Christians as well. Tell us about how that came about. Was that because of you, or because your mom wanted it, or your dad wanted it?
no, no, that was because this one person who came to our family and shared gospel to all of us, and
Excellent.
everybody, uh, every individual in my family, father, mom, and a sister, they found God in their own way, and we all four people accepted Jesus. And one final day, they were also, in the church. They said they want to be baptized. They baptized, and became more and more. Life became very different for them after they made the commitment by this person who helped us to come more to know God more and to find the truth more.
Excellent. And how's your sister doing today?
Yeah, she's fine. By God's grace, she's with my parent in South India. She has two sons, and God has blessed her with two sons. And both of his son are doing good. One is working in a medical, as a lab technician. He is working in Kuwait, and another son is studying now in a medical field. So she has two sons. She's a widow, but the Lord has been good to her with helping to see that the two sons are also blessed. Every situations have changed for her too.
Excellent. You said that things changed for your dad as well, in that you got a new job.
Yeah,
What was
he
that
he
like for
started
the family? For
he
the family?
worked in a hospital. Yeah, he got a new opportunity to work in a Christian hospital in Calcutta, and it's called Assemblies of God Church Hospital. And he worked as a medical assistant, and that was his till complete permanent job that he worked. And he retired from there. And after retirement, God helped him to get a piece of land, and he bought a piece of land in South India, and they are settled in Tamil Nadu in a place called Vellore. My father is now is going to be 80 is 80. My
Wow.
mom is 75. They both are healthy, and both are blessed, so much blessed. And they still today they're able to see the long years. I've seen many of my in families and people, those who have passed away in much in younger age. My parents are still there with good health and blessed, being active in the church. My mother is still sharing the gospel, sharing about the story to her friends, to other people. She's very active in sharing the gospel even until this age.
Amen. Well, you said when you found Jesus, and you said you found a new concept. You wanted to know Jesus. Tell us a little bit about how you got to know Jesus more, better. How did you work that out?
Yeah. To know Jesus better was, I think, the biggest is for me is to read the Bible. As I said, from Catholic, I never read my Bible. My parents never read my Bible. They were there Catholics and for a long time, longer period of time. They never read the Bible too. Bible was used just to every day we take the Bible, the kiss the Bible, and we keep it. That's
Yeah.
the max we did, and we never touched the Bible. We only kept it in an altar, a nice safer place. But knowing God is through the Bible. Next is fellowshipping with the church. I started we as a family fellowship with now an active church where it speaks about Jesus. And in Calcutta, we used to go week after week, and there was Bible study, regular Bible studies that we attended, and we started to know more about God. And yeah, and reading through the Bible, through Bible studies and church at that time was, where we worshipped. It was very helpful in building the
Hmm.
spiritual part of our life. And I thought the fellowship center was more important for us. And even now today, I help people to see that they need to be part of a fellowship to know God more through their friends and in their spiritual environment.
Did you yourself do some work for Campus Crusade as well? Did you work with them for
Yes,
years?
I worked with Campus Crusade initially because I got to know Jesus through Campus Crusade. I also volunteered, and then I started to work with Campus Crusade in the Jesus Film Project, going to different parts in West Bengal, in different villages, cities,
Mhm.
to screen the movie Jesus. After I screened the movie, we gave a small commitment card to the people during the film show. If anybody is interested to know Jesus, or if anybody want us to go and visit them, I used to collect the cards. Next day morning, go to the house and share the story of who Jesus is. Yeah.
That is hard work. That is.
It was hard work. I
You
did
should.
that day after day. Yeah, more than 2 years I was there with them and doing this, helping the people to, in the villages, especially after the movies, people were interested at that time and said, "We can somebody come and visit us?"
Mm.
And that was a time I took an opportunity to go and share. And they prayed the prayer. Many of the people prayed the prayer and said, "We wanted to know Jesus more." And then connecting them to the local church in that villages and cities was my main priority.
Excellent. Now, I know India is a very diverse country, and sometimes they don't like Christianity. Did you
Right.
ever come across any persecution or things like that when you were actually preaching the gospel?
Yes, it happened at that young age. Once in one of the place I know, I was in a place near Darjeeling, place called Jalpaiguri in West Bengal. And as I was screening, we were screening the movie. Suddenly, a mob, group of people, young people came, and they, they just told us to immediately vacate. They tore the whole screen. At that time, there was a screen which is to project, and they started to throw our projectors and pushing me, and saying that you're trying to convert. So it became violent, though I was not, it didn't was not so brutal that they manhandled me, but not it was not a serious thing. We
Mhm.
just winded up the whole thing, and I came, and they said they don't want to see us in that district at all, or they would complain to the police. So there was a lot of these things that happened. And so 2 3 places I went to the challenges. And yes, but
And,
God was good that he helped us to find always a new place and new avenues to go and share the story, screen the movie.
have you been back to those places at all?
Yeah, I went after months. I went to that places again, and I shared. There were some of the friends who also shared, and I'm sure that I'm not sure that whether we met the right that same people, but the other people from that area came to know God, and they started visiting church. Yes.
Now you've come a long way from being a 20-year-old boy with a basic education. You started writing your own blog. Tell us a little bit about your blog and what you talk about in it, and how.
Yeah, this is after during this, when I said that I had this passion of writing,
Mm,
because I saw everybody, churches, and we have so much of programs and activities, but a blog that anybody can read, whether it is a Hindu, Muslim, Punjabi, or Sikhs, anybody should read, and they should find about Jesus. So I started to write about common topic, just any topics that comes on my way that I've been inspired with. And so far, more than 400, above 400 articles I've written, which every Sunday one is published. And this interest slowly became a passion, and this became a main ministry. I still continue, though I've been part of this major global organization that I'm helping different places, churches, and different people. But this I'm continuing to write it on a regular basis.
you mentioned they're a global org. Tell us who you're involved with at the moment. Tell us a little bit about, is it the Go movement? And
Yes,
what-
I currently work with Go Movement, and the whole and I'm a part of my whole job is partner relationship program. So, which means our Go Movement is present in more than 90 countries in
Right.
the globally, and which means that every country we have a team where this team connects with all the leaders, the churches, and the ministry partners together, brings them together, and helps them to see how they can reach with the gospel in their country next 10 years intensely. And
Hmm.
that is the main crux of it. And I'm trying to work with every country with the team to see they have a small team, they have different all the key leaders and the ministry, different ministries coming together are now all working to influence the churches and equip the believers to share the gospel on a regular basis. And the whole focus is, we say, go lifestyle, which means how every believer can share it regularly. And
Hmm.
go lifestyle means sharing the gospel, the good news, on a weekly, monthly, or a daily basis. Because most of the Christians, again, today they still think that going to a church itself is the biggest mission. They think that is their accomplishing. But I found out that more than 90% of the Christians don't even share their stories or share the gospel.
Hmm.
So now, through this Go movement in every country, the team is mobilizing the churches and arranging various trainings for the believers and helping them to share the gospel on a regular basis. So I'm involved in strategizing, helping the people, helping the group to take it forward.
Well, you've come a long way from Calcutta and a 12-year-old boy in school and what have you. And what plans have you got for the future, if any?
Yes, I know when I was in 10 years back, at least 10 years back, my whole thing is that somehow I need to help all the churches in India to
Mm.
see that how they can release the people, equip the believers to share the gospel. So
Right.
first I was planning in my city, Pune. I was involved actively in the church groups, and there was a pastors committee in our city where we used to meet on a monthly basis. And I keep on talking, how do we help our believers come out of the four walls, not just visiting. But then slowly my ambition was to see how I can mobilize or influence more churches in nationally. So
Mm-hmm.
God helped me that during COVID times, I was able to train more than 3,000 pastors and leaders around
Wow.
India, yeah, to see how they can share the gospel on a regular basis, how to equip, what is the crux of gospel. That I was did about 1 year. And then I thought, God, if you give me an opportunity, I want to see that I can work and I can influence the global churches. And
Yeah.
now here I'm here through Global Go Movement. So it went stage by stage, my city, nationally, and now by God's grace, today
Yeah.
I'm able to influence now more than 90 countries where with leaders and only talk about how do we equip the churches and believers to share gospel on a actively and call it a go lifestyle.
Amen. And I just wanted to ask you one thing. Did you ever get a chance to go back in the streets again at all these days? With the gospel.
Yeah, I didn't go precisely per se to the streets to share, but in my country, even to share your faith, we think that we are proselytizing or we're converting people. Things become very difficult, and that is why this blog has been very important for me to connect. And people are reading all over the world. These blogs, people are reading it. But I got to people to speak one on one from all walks of life, from the poor, most depressed, to the streets, from the village. I think I have spoken to different people. So my one-on-one calls and ministry of personal evangelism is still very active.
And just tell us again the name of your blog website, please. One more
Yeah,
time.
it is life redefined for good.
Excellent. Well, David, it's
Yeah,
been fantastic speaking to you. Thank you so much for telling us your story and how you came to know God and the tough time you had. But look at you now. You're really blessed. But there's one question we ask all the guests on this particular program, and that is: you've made many decisions in your life, some good, some bad. But for you, what was the best decision you ever made?
I think the best decision for me is to made I made in my life is to know Jesus all my life and to share him, share Christ to all the people, and see that I'm no more living for myself. I need to live for others. I'm sold out for the gospel, which means I want every person that I come contact with, I ensure that I influence him by my story and the story of Jesus to him. That's the greatest influence commitment that I made, and it is happening and able to see it.
Thank you so much, David, and thank you so much for speaking to us here at Life Stories Worldwide. And
Thank
with
you.
that, I'm going to bring Alan back in.
Thank you, George. And thank you so much, David. It's been a pleasure listening to you. Thank you for giving your time. I know it's not easy for you. You've just been traveling and it's early hours of the morning for you there, but thank you so much. I know it will not be wasted. And I pray God will continue to bless you and use you, and may you see many, many more people brought into the kingdom of God. May you see a real harvest of precious souls in the coming days. Thank you so very, very much. God bless you.
Thank you,
And thank
Alan.
you.
It's a privilege.
Thank you. And thank you all for watching today. And in the coming days, you watch this story of David, and I'm sure you'll pass it on to other people too, that they might learn and also get the blog and read that blog and be helped with it. Also, can I encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, Life Stories Worldwide. There you'll find lots of stories from previous Mondays. And I encourage you to click the subscription button and the like button. It will help to spread the good news. So thank you so much for being with us. May the Lord bless you. May you know the peace of God that passes all human understanding. And may the joy of Jesus fill your heart. Bye, everyone.